Hello guys, thank you for stopping by on the VZ channel. Now, a couple of months ago I did a video about 5 years in China, so I've been almost here for 5 years, and recently some people have started actually watching this video, so I thought I would do a follow-up, things that I like about living in China. Okay, so we'll start off with convenience, and convenience I would like to break down into 3 parts. First one is payment. It is really nice not having to have your cash, and I literally haven't used cash in probably 4 years. It's just everything's on the phone, and it is so widespread, the payment system by cash, no matter what size business you are. So like it could be a big store, or it could be grandpa on the side of the road selling vegetables. You could pay him using Alipay or WeChat, which is fantastic. Whereas ordering things, everything is kind of linked to your Alipay or WeChat, so I've never even had to use my card when I'm filling out all the numbers. Really convenient. Alright, the second point about convenience is the super fast delivery service. Actually, everything in China is really fast, but let's just focus on delivery. So literally anything could be delivered to your door. Also the Amazon equivalent, which is called Taobao in China, you could order and it will be here very, very quick, and the express delivery service is very cheap. Pretty much everything is delivered here by courier. No one uses the national post service, though they do have one, China Post, but I don't think I've ever used that. Like, even if I want to deliver some documents from Shanghai to another person in Shanghai, it's really convenient to do it using a courier. People usually normally use a company called SF here. Just get the app, guy comes to your door, delivers it maybe even the same day, and it's really, really cheap. The final point I'd like to make about convenience is transport. I've actually recently made a video about the metro here. You can check it out, but I'll quickly mention here that the metro here is so cheap and so reliable. It is always on time, and there's no such thing as strikes here. In London, sometimes they'll just go on strike. You go to work and the train's not working. Like, if you want to go to a different city, the trains here are amazing as well. I'm not sure if they're as fast as Japanese trains, but they're pretty fast. Like, you can go from Shanghai to Beijing in 5 hours. If you look at a map, you will be impressed how, they're quite far away from each other. The next point, jobs and salary. So I'm here to do English teaching, and there's literally so many kinds of jobs. Like English learning market in China is still huge, even in 2021. There's kindergarten jobs, training center jobs, university jobs, high school jobs, middle school jobs, international school jobs. You will never be out of work here. If you spend some time in China, you will have a list of people on WeChat who always post jobs. You will just say, hey, I want to apply for this one. And they'll be like, okay, send your CV, and you pretty much get an interview the same day or the next day. And very likely you're going to get the job. Alright, and the pay range is pretty crazy as well. It depends on your experience and depends on how brave you are to apply for certain positions. But yeah, it really depends on how long you've been here. So just to give you an example from personal level, when I first came here I had about 18,000 RMB a month, and now I'm averaging about 26, 27 month to month, because it's based on teaching hours. And as a foreign teacher, in most jobs you're going to have plenty of free time. It's kind of unfair because, for example, in my company right now, local teachers, i.e. Chinese teachers, they have to be at the office all day, like a normal job. I can just come in, do my lessons in the evening, and the rest of the day is free. It's not fair really, but it is what it is, and I'm enjoying this freedom right now. Alright, let's talk about the next point, which relates to money as well, and that is the cost of living. So when we think of cost of living, the main thing we usually think of is the rent. So once again, to give you a personal example, I'm living in the suburbs of Shanghai, and I'm paying 4,500 RMB per month for a 2-bedroom flat. 2-bedroom flat means I have 2 bedrooms, a living room, kitchen, bathroom, and even a balcony area where I can hang all my clothes. If you want to live in the center, it will be much more expensive. So yeah, center of Shanghai is expensive. You're going to pay maybe 6,000-7,000 for a 1-bedroom apartment, and it might not even be that new. And living in the suburbs of Shanghai does not mean that you're cut off from all kinds of services. I have 2 big malls next to me. I have shops, I have parks, I have cinemas, I have restaurants. Everything you want is here. Right, the next thing that comes to mind when people say cost of living is obviously food. Now, if you're going to eat healthy and cook your own food, very good choice because you're not going to spend much money at all. You could easily get by on 2,000 RMB, maybe even less a month. So I mean, just consider that. The salary you could be getting here right now is about 25k a month. Then your rent is about 5k if you live where I am, and your food is 2k. How much money is left over? A lot. So then you might be thinking transport. Well, once again, go back to the video I did on the metro. A single ticket journey is 3 RMB. It's distance based, so if you go, the further you go, the more expensive it is, but not that much more expensive. The furthest I've been is an about 2-hour long journey, and that cost me 9 RMB. So in pounds, that's about a pound. So these kind of prices extend to most aspects of life. That is, unless you want to live a Western lifestyle. For example, going to Starbucks is the same price that you're going to pay, you know, in your country. Starbucks is Starbucks. Or if you want to go and drink in bars, alcohol can be pretty expensive. And if you want to go to nights out, Western restaurants, that is not cheap, right? If you come to China and you live the Chinese lifestyle, i.e., eat in Chinese restaurants maybe sometimes, shop in a supermarket, take the metro instead of taxis all the time, you're gonna save a lot of money here. Because, once again, rent is cheap and transport and food is cheap. Alright, so we go to my next point, which is food. So for someone who has enjoyed Chinese food for most of his life, which is me, the first time I tried Chinese food was in Russia. I went to a Chinese restaurant when I was about 10 years old, and I was hooked from then on. It is delicious, and yeah, I've been having Chinese food ever since then. But coming to China is like a dream, right? It's just like a foodie's playground. One of the reasons is that, you know, in the UK at least, the Chinese food that we get is mostly Guangdong style food. That's because a lot of people from Hong Kong immigrated to all parts of the world, and then they brought their food with them, which is Guangdong style food. But the thing about China is that every province has their own specialty. So there'll be Dongbei food in the north, there'll be Sichuan food, there will be Shanghai food. You know, pretty much every province has their own style of dishes, and you're just never going to try everything. And it's really exciting, you know, to go to a restaurant that you've never been before, and you're going to experience something new there. And yeah, it's quite cheap as well, as I mentioned before. Foodie's playground. Yeah, if you love Chinese food, and if you're open-minded about what you eat, that's what I personally enjoy about living in China. Next point is quite a big one for me. It's safety. Right, what do I mean by safety? Well, literally safety, being safe on the streets, being free to walk around in any area, any time of day or night. You can feel safe and secure that no one's going to touch you. Which is a totally different story from where I come from in London. If you're in the wrong area at the wrong time, there's a high possibility you will get mugged. I have been mugged myself, but here you don't need to be worried if you're coming here. You can hang around, you know, have a good night out, and have fun with your friends, and you don't need to be scared about being touched by anyone. And that is, you know, that is really important, you know, to life, being safe. People might say, well, pickpocketing is a thing in China. Maybe. I have never been pickpocketed. Nothing has ever been stolen. I've never ever felt threatened. I've never been touched, nor bullied, anything like that. It is a totally crime-free zone, at least where I am in Shanghai. Like, guys, I'm speaking from personal experience, but please, if you're also living in China and you're in a different part of China and you're watching my channel, back me up here in the comments. I'm sure you've had the same experience here. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Please let me know if you're into these kind of talking head videos. You know, I normally like to show you places and keep my videos nice, you know, the visuals nice and exciting, so that people actually do stay to watch. But yeah, if you want me to talk about more topics, let me know and I will do more talking videos. Alright, thanks. Peace.